Okay, so I was born in Nigeria, and then around age 7, my family moved us to Holland. So I was in Holland for 5 years, learned Dutch, but when you don't keep speaking that language, you lose it, right? So after living in Holland for 5 years, we then relocated to Calgary, and my dad was still working in Holland at the moment. From there, being an engineer, got a job in Fort McMurray. So when he relocated to Canada, moved us from Calgary to Fort McMurray. I did junior high up until high school in Fort Mac, and about more of my childhood, I'll use more of Fort McMurray. So Fort McMurray it's a small town, and it was different from a lot of the places I've been to. So I remember when we first moved to Fort McMurray, the airport then was not really done. So when we got out of the airport, I remember we had to like step out of the plane. I remember me and my brother wanting to start crying because imagine, you go from Nigeria to Holland, and we've done trips to UK and stuff within Europe. You're used to massive airports. Then your parents now take you to one small town. You're looking out. I remember me and my brother that day, I almost started crying. I was like, where are we going? Like, am I going to some redneck farmland? Like, where is this for McMurray? But over time, it really became home. And I think what helped with that was church. So I was really involved it was the Redeemed called Daystar Chapel out in Fort McMurray. I was in choir, and also like having friends your age in church then made transition into school a lot easier. So that small town, I think one benefit of a small town for a new immigrant is it's not as scary, or it's small enough where you can meet small people here and eventually you build up. And I think most people from Fort Mac kind of relocated in there. Many people aren't really, they're people born and raised there, but they still came there for a reason because of oil and gas. So from Fort McMurray, I really created a good, let me say, family/friend group out there. Then I went over for university. So I came to Edmonton, went to MacEwan, did a few co-ops, started working, and that's really been it. But I would say growing up, the Nigerian community and church has been really helpful in making me not feel as lonely and just out of place in a new country. So I would say that's really my upbringing at the moment.
Nice.
I would love to say 100%, but anybody say it does not matter. There's still, let me say like 80%. There's still some times where a comment it will get to you, right? But by listening to what you're saying, where you said you used to always reply people. Back in the day, people would tell me, oh, you're gaining weight, you're getting fat, you're this, you're that. I internalize things. I never replied anyone. And by not replying, it affected me more. Now why I'm comfortable in my own skin is you can't tell me anything. I will reply you. I'm like, oh, you're fat. I'm like, okay. And so, or I think the big thing for me now is I don't allow people's words to take power over me. And that was the biggest thing I had to learn to be comfortable in myself. So you can say anything, I'd be like, I'm beautiful, right? I have this. And I also had to learn that me saying to myself, I'm beautiful, I'm okay. Yes, my belly might be big, but that's fine. I am fine. It's not being cocky. I needed that reassurance in myself, like words of affirmation to yourself. Keep repeating. Eventually, you're going to believe it. My friend always says something, fake it until you make it. If you keep faking it, eventually you're going to believe it. I'm the hottest person in the world. I'm finer than Beyonce. Yes, I believe it, right? So, yes, I think words of affirmation was a big thing in me learning to be comfortable in my own skin. Once I had that, anything anyone said it wouldn't affect me the way it used to. Back then, I'll be crying. Now you say it, I probably might say something rude back to you. Not probably, I really would. But that to me was me being comfortable in my own skin, where accepting myself and whatever flaws or whatever, because society has created this construct of, oh, you need to have slim waist, slim this, to be that is what is desired by the world. Once I realized, like, no, not everyone can fit into that. We don't all have that body type. That really began my journey into being comfortable in me, in Buki. Like, I am fine, I am beautiful, and the way God made me is okay. And I think one thing growing up that, and let me say for myself, that we're not really taught is that you're gonna face, there's a battle between the internal and external, right? This mental battle, like, yes, okay, we talk about, okay, be good, be a good Christian, go to school, get this accomplishment, but there's a whole different mental health component that we don't sit down to. We're fighting with ourselves. Exactly what you're saying. That in terms of, once you're not fighting with who you are, the rest becomes just easy. You're more at peace. Up till now, I still don't think we're there. It's not enough, if I'm to be very honest. And what you're saying exactly was my problem with the store Zara, right? I remember that's another thing that used to make me sad. I was telling a friend recently, when I see stores that they don't carry extended sizes like after 16 and above, I just close my mind. It's not for me. They don't want my business, they don't want my money. Because before, this Zara thing was a problem. Zara sale, especially as an influencer, you see all these girls, Zara, that's a big thing, that Zara sale. They go buy out everything. You enter Zara, their largest size, it doesn't fit me. And then I'm now trying to force myself, try to squeeze myself into it. And I realize I need to stop squeezing myself into things. This is not for me. I need to find places that are for me. But as a plus size person, it is not easy. I will not even lie to you, telling you that even the plus size stores in Canada, for example, the style is very limited. It's like they think just because I'm bigger, I don't want to dress well. And that's not true. Why should I have to go to ordering stuff from the UK where they now come in, they now kill me with duties, or order things from the US? I do think the US is more advanced with coming with plus size clothing, but Canada-wise, we're really lacking. And even as a plus size influencer, it's actually what made me realize that I want to expand outside of just fashion to start doing more lifestyle over the next year, because it's hard. You go to even H&M, for example, they have a plus size section, but it's all online. In store, to find that is hard, but I do believe by more plus size people coming out and doing this fashion thing, like going about, it'll create exposure in the sense that this is needed. There are people that want this extended sizes and people complaining, for them to now listen, okay, like this has to be done. All these brands that are doing it now, it's from people exposing them, right? People talking about it, like, why don't you have extended sizes? Oh, I would like this, but I can't shop here. We need to do better. But I would say over the last few years, it has improved, but more needs to be done. So with the whole snapback mentality, it's also about trying to fit women into a box, right? And I think Dove did a whole campaign where it showed different women, different sizes. The body type was so different. So it's like, if we can see that that's different, how can we expect this whole sizing matter, all of us to fit into that? So now back to the whole snapback. It's like we don't give women the room, we don't give women the grace to, like, we're allowed to grow. I remember I read something the other day talking about a woman who has given birth and she was there criticizing every part of her body. And I remember her husband said something, it's like, the weight gain, those zebra stripes, those are your unicorn stripes, right? Of what you've been through. You brought a child into this world. You did so much work and those first few months with the baby are very hard. Who has time to be to now be worrying about, oh, I must snap back? That's not realistic. That's not even healthy for anyone. And that same kid that you're trying to take care of and everything does not give a damn about your snapback. Just wants your care and your love, wants you to feed them, take care of them, clean their diapers. So it's like, why are we so hard on ourselves? And I think as well, we consider weight gain, weight loss, we see it as some form of like failure or accomplishment. I remember someone was reading something, I read something about how this girl said she no longer praises people for losing weight or gaining weight. It's like, it doesn't matter, because why are we, that's not it's nothing to, it's a way of life. Like, it's a phases in life. We're gonna go through it. And that whole idea of, oh, you want to go back to a size 10 or whatever it is, back then you had no kid. You had no, like, there was no child in there. Like, your body is going to evolve. Why are we so against our body evolving into whatever it is? If it is to get fit, if it is to gain weight, and we should allow, like, I remember it said, like, be comfortable in your now. Enjoy the process of your now. Yes, okay, I understand that with weight gain, right? There's health problems. Yes, you could have high blood pressure and things like that. If those things are in check, even if you want to, let's say, lose belly and this and that, it takes time. Like, Rome was not built in a day. The time frame you used to gain that weight, that belly that you used to literally let your baby live, it took you 9 months to build that. Why do we expect within 2 months you're going to snap back to flat belly? It's not realistic. And I think that culture is very toxic towards women, because already you've given birth, and you hear about, I've never given birth, it's just things I'm reading, right? You hear about postpartum, and people are going through all these different changes in your life. Now you want to now add, okay, also have flat belly. Please, do you want to kill women? Working on yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. Working on yourself to be that confident. I imagine if me as a parent, if I'm out there being like, those words of affirmation, I'm like, oh, let's say I dress up, I'm telling my kid, I'm so fine today, things like that, right? Also, those affirmations, speak them into your kids. I feel it's so easy. I see it I'm not picking on the Nigerian community. I love being Nigerian. Let me just say that now. But I feel like we're so quick to pick on CEO, like you said, CEO, cow leg, see this one, right? But I think we forget how damaging that can be to a kid growing up. So if you need to make kids, I believe as a parent, it first starts with you, of you being confident in yourself, or dressing up. Like what you're saying, why should I be covering myself in loads of clothes? No, whatever size you are, still dressing up and feeling good with yourself, that kid is going to see that and be like, wow, I want to be that confident, right? And then when you see your kid, you're like, oh, you look beautiful. Tell them they look beautiful, so that they're not going outside looking for that, what's it called? Looking for someone to tell them that they are fine. When they hear that at home, I'm telling you, when they go outside, nobody can tell them you have no, I'm fine. I don't care what you're saying. My mommy told me I'm beautiful, right? So yes, I believe I'm not a parent yet, but all these are like ideally what I believe would play out, right? So I believe it starts with the mom and dad being confident in themselves and just showing, like, being affirming themselves as well in front of the kids, right? And then also when it comes to the kids as they're growing up, telling them they're beautiful, boy and girl. I'll tell my son, you're handsome. Oh, I like how you're dressed today. Like little things like that. It boosts their ego and makes them feel confident in who they are as a person. And I feel so often as Nigerians, where we boost each other is, oh, you got this education, clap for yourself, you graduated, right? But there's also another component, appearance, right? Boost that person's ego and boost how they feel about who they are.
You know, funny enough, I was looking at the sign just at the top of your head, and it says, beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself. And I think that's the most beautiful thing you can give your child, is allowing your child to be themselves. Not putting this pressure of there's a size or there's a look they have to have at a particular age. I'm grateful that my parents, and I think I went to primary school that they were really big on self-esteem. So certain things we sing, I am wonderfully made, I'm so beautiful, we would sing it every day in school. This is 20 years after. I can still sing that song in my head, that when I feel someone, when I see, because I actually did not have marked throughout pregnancy. The week I was going to give birth, they came like a rushing wind and scattered my tummy. But funny thing is, after I saw my baby, it was more or less that this is just beautiful. Like, I gave birth to a human being. That was the only thing in my head. Did I have moments where I'll be like, let me angle my tummy,
let me suck in,
which is normal. But in my head, I didn't allow that to get to me, to make me feel like my body didn't matter. Do you understand? Like, it mattered. I loved it how it was. If I want to suck belly, I'll suck belly. If I want to leave it, I'll leave it. If I want to take picture with angles, I believe that one thing you can give your child is let them define themselves through the lens of who God created them to be. So beauty begins the moment you decide to be yourself, and as a parent, that's the best thing you can allow your child to be.
Just live for now. Don't be so stressed about tomorrow will come, but enjoy the now. And even I would say at my age now, I still struggle with that because I feel another way, all these boxes we like to put ourselves into. It's like, why do you want to be in a box? This world is so big. Why do you want to stay in this square box? In a sense, like I can sit here sitting there like, oh, I wish I had this. Oh, I wish I was married. Oh, I wish I already had kids. Like most women, at least most people my friends, I think most of us had this ideal of by 25, we'll be married, we'll already have started having kids. And I'm 27, I don't have that, and that is okay. There's things I have done in this 27 years that it's like, why don't I sit there and why am I not proud of myself of those little things? Like I remember talking to my mom the other day. I was like, I am so blessed in the sense of I finished school, I got a good job, I've not had to worry about getting laid off. I'm in a field I like, I'm back in school now doing my master's. A lot of things I've worked out in my life. So why do I sit there focusing on all the bad? It's not it. So when it goes back to what would I tell my younger self? Enjoy the now. Enjoy those phases in life. Even when bad things come around, okay, yes, you're allowed to be sad. Get sad, but move on. Keep pushing. It's not the end of the world. That situation even those bad things that in my head I'm thinking, oh, I'm sad I went through that. That built me. It gave me wings. I think that's the right way to say it. It gave me wings to be the person I am today. It helped me build myself to, like it helped me build myself to understand like things. And sometimes, like I remember I was telling someone, oftentimes we see failures as, oh, this is horrible, it should have never happened. But failure is actually there to build you up. It makes you understand, like, and when you finally get that thing that you failed on, the way you will appreciate it more than anyone would ever understand, because you've fallen down on this matter and now you're up, and it's like, wow, I had to go through this to understand life, to understand this is my pattern, like this is a path God wants me to go through. I'm still learning. Let's start with that. I'm still learning. But one thing I'll say is you're allowed to change. You're allowed to grow into, look at how I'm saying like, oh, I fully started with fashion. Now I want to diversify into showing more lifestyle, showing like little things here and there that I enjoy doing, like cooking, perfumes. I enjoy decorating places, right? You're allowed to change. You don't have to. Once again, this box, you don't have to. Just because I started in fashion, I don't have to stay there. I'm allowed to change my mind. I'm allowed to grow. I'm allowed to evolve. So I think one thing with content creating is, I would say, just go with the flow. Yes, there will be some order, like, okay, planning in there, but like, allow yourself, give yourself room to evolve. Don't think, oh, everyone has followed me for fashion, I must stick to this. No. One thing I'm learning now too is that I might think people would not like this, but guess what? The people that will like it will come. And so people will leave, and that's okay. And I think that's the hardest thing to understand. People unfollowing you, people not continuing with you. It's like, oh, what did I do? I'm learning to don't take it personal, accept it, and guess what? Your crowd, your crew will come. The people who will support you and what they like what you're doing, they will come. So I think the main thing is be focused on what you're doing, why you're doing it, and what you want from this. And just do it. And don't overthink it too much. And don't comparison is the thief of joy. That's a big one. Sitting there thinking, oh, this person has more followers than me, this person has this. No, my time will come, your time will come, and it's okay. Just keep pushing and just post what you want. Just keep posting, and eventually it will get better. Like what I was posting last year versus now, I think I'm so critical of myself. Oh, I don't have the best quality camera. Oh, I like the way, I don't like this is edited. But when I look back at what I did before to now, I have improved. So it's like, I wish, just keep posting. Eventually you will get better, and you start understanding what is my brand? What do I want to put out there? And even now that I'm saying I like this lifestyle, in 2 years or a year from now, I might evolve into something else, and that is okay. So give yourself that grace to grow and to evolve as a creator. You're okay the way you are, and the way God made you is perfect. Even that word of perfection, what is perfect? It's like, what is really perfect? There's nothing like perfect. And one thing I would really advise someone trying to get comfortable in their own skin, the way I started was I wrote down, it sounds so simple, I wrote down I am beautiful. And then I started writing down the things I love about myself. So anytime I felt down or something happened, I will repeat those things in my, it's what I said about fake it till you make it. Keep faking it, keep saying it, and eventually you will believe it. So it's as simple as writing it down and taking it one step at a time. If it means you don't have to be a content creator, but like taking pictures of yourself, and instead of there analyzing, I don't like this, I don't like that, find 5 things about yourself in that picture. Sorry, my eyes are tearing up because of the lights, so don't mind me. I'm not crying. So find 5 things about yourself in those pictures. Oh, I like my leg. Oh, I like my style. I like the way my hair is. I like my lash. I like my... Focus on those, because there's good in all of us. There's something about us we do like. So why do we kill ourselves over those few bad, and even those things that we're calling bad? It's a social construct. It's what society has told us is bad. Like I said, what is perfect? Nothing's perfect. We're human. We're made with flaws. We're gonna have flaws. We're gonna make mistakes. So the best advice I can give you is start from scratch. Write it down what you like about yourself and start preaching it to yourself daily, and eventually you will believe it. So first I want to say thank you for having me. This was a really great opportunity, and it's really nice to, as a creator, to work with other creators, because you're learning too, right? Hearing like her stories and my story, it's heartwarming, right? And I really appreciate you for having me. If you would like to contact me, you can go on my Instagram. That's the main place. On my Instagram, explore my _closet, and reach out to me in DM. I don't bite. I will reply. And yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much. I know I was probably rambling and saying a bit, but I hope my point was you guys understood everything I was saying, and thank you.